Good evening. I'm Crystal Wright, a UTA College of Nursing student. Today we will be discussing a book written by David Goleman, Richard Boyatzi, and Annie McKee, which is titled Primal Leadership, Learning to Lead with Emotional Intelligence. These authors are all highly qualified in emotional intelligence. Dr. Goleman is currently a professor at Harvard University. He's also a psychologist, science journalist, and in the past has written for the New York Times for about 12 years. Annie McKee is an author of best-selling business books and an advisor to the top global leaders. She's also the senior fellow and director of the GSE's doctoral program and the medical education master's program. Richard Boyatzi is an American organizational theorist and professor of organizational behavior at the Case Western Reserve University, and he has also been considered an expert in the field of emotional intelligence. Now, the purpose of this book was to teach leaders how to use their emotions to help them lead and not just going by what's in their head for their leadership skills. Goleman, Boyatzi, and McKee were originally approached by a CEO of a mid-sized company and asked to work with 3 members of an executive team who were not cooperating well together, and the CEO felt that they just needed some team building exercises to get them back on track. But through questioning and research, that was not found to be the case. They all had some kind of emotional intelligence flaw that was disrupting their work. This book's target audience is the executives, managers, and team leaders who all need to learn emotional intelligence to lead a strong team. There were many strengths to this book, most of all that anyone can learn to be a good leader. Research and studies were performed, such as the 360-degree feedback as proof to the usefulness of emotional intelligence in leadership. Emotional intelligence was also defined throughout the book using self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management, which are all also important for leadership traits. The book also had some weaknesses. There was a lot of redundancy, and many things could just be skimmed as there was all the same information, which made the book longer than it should have been or could have been if they had condensed the information and put it all in the same discussion rather than constantly repeating themselves. Do the authors achieve their objectives? I would say yes, they achieved their objective of proving and defining emotional intelligence as an important trait in those leadership positions. The leaders with known emotional intelligence seem to have better outcomes with their team and have a happier, more productive team than those that go more off of just their education and what they have in their head. Would I recommend this book? I would say yes. I would recommend this book on primal leadership to those in executive, managerial, or team leader positions, and even those seeking these positions to better understand emotional intelligence and its major importance in leadership positions. That concludes my presentation on the power of emotional intelligence. Does anyone have any questions for me today?